Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the very second episode of a brand new podcast that we like to call Suplexes and Shea Butter. I am Tanya, and I am here with my co host, first Danny,
Hi.
and we have Tyler.
What's good, tall and beautiful in the building?
AKA, you better.
Get into who we are. Go listen to the first episode. But today we're going to be dealing with the fallout from WWE's Hell in a Cell. We will get to that eventually. But there is something very important that we as wrestling fans, we feel like we have to talk about, especially I don't know if people have seen what was going, this little hashtag that was going around on Twitter today.
When isn't the IWC doing a stupid ass hashtag on
I
Twitter?
don't know. But it was called We Want Talent.
And you would think it would
Apparently,
be-
we're
would
lacking
think it would be
talent in the WWE. So I'm gonna read the tweet that this they say she a woman, but I have no proof of this.
She a fucking
And I know who
catfish.
she is. I have her blocked. Her name is Abby Felicity. I'm gonna call her out.
Oh.
That bitch.
I had that bitch blocked, so she can't see nothing I tweet.
And I'm gonna let
But-
y'all know something. If we call out the wrestling fans, don't get discouraged. If you don't fit the mold that we're talking about, then this isn't directed at
Listen,
you.
if they get discouraged, I want them to fuck them. I really don't care because this shit is sexist.
Yep. And this Abby bitch. like,
One of the
everybody
things she
knows
said,
who she is.
listen now. A note. The Bella Twins did nothing to elevate the women's division or put women's wrestling on the map. They have never had a decent match or feud that wow the fans. They only show up when they need more footage for Total Divas. They deserve nothing. We want talent. Champion with a broken fucking neck.
Yep.
A broken neck. Total Divas gives them a reason to put some of them women on TV. I'm never done with it. Okay, imagine wrestling fans dissing reality TV. Like, come on, what the fuck? Like we're watching great Shakespearean bullshit. No, we're watching trash TV, just like reality TV show.
Exactly.
Trash TV. Escapism. If you,
Exactly.
as a wrestling fan, shit on reality TV, then fuck you. I don't know what the fuck you think you're watching wrestling for the same reason. And as a matter of fact, the kayfabe on VH1's Love and Hip Hop is way better than WWE's, might I say. People know who to cheer for, who to root for. Their heroes and faces are very clear cut, unlike WWE. So we're gonna get into this feminism. We're gonna get into these outright fans. We're gonna get into the solutions to deal with these motherfuckers. Come on, Tyler. I know you got something on your mind. Let it loose, girl.
Oh my God. Oh, where do I begin? Okay, like when the Bellas came back and I'm seeing all this hate for them and shit, I'm like, where was all this before? Like, where the hell is this coming from? I was like, you think about it, I said Nikki Bella or the Bella twins in general really don't need WWE for real. They came back because they fucking wanted to.
Listen, so simple.
And it's like it's just pissing me off because it's like all I see on Twitter from female wrestling fans is, oh, this girl deserves better. Oh, why is Oscar being the afterthought? Oh, Naomi this. Oh, Sasha doing this. Bailey doing this. What the fuck they doing with her and all this bullshit? And then when you finally get your own pay-per-view, y'all come up with a fucking hashtag like that. We won't tell it, basically bashing the girls that y'all claim don't deserve shit, but then a year or two later down the road, y'all gonna be saying, "Oh, this person deserves this push. Oh, this person deserves a push." When y'all was just fucking bashing these girls to bring up somebody like a fucking Alexa Bliss or a Charlotte or a fucking Sasha. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? They give y'all pay-per-view and y'all motherfuckers shit on it with this stupid ass hashtag, and you wonder why Vince don't listen to you motherfuckers online.
So I'm trying to get context. So I I didn't know about this. Like, I literally just found out like 2 minutes before this podcast. So this happened because of, like, how did this hashtag come about? Like,
Abby
because
was fucking
this Abby Felicity chick has an army of neckbeards because she bashes people like Roman Reigns, and she's really for the Bullet Club. Yes, you know.
Once you put a white girl,
she's one of those girls who tweets to get the neckbeards and the outright wrestling fans. She looks actually like a Trump supporter, and there's a lot of those in wrestling, and they mask their sexism and racism with hot takes. Yeah. That's why they don't want a man of color as the top guy. But I digress. We're talking about this bullshit ass hashtag. Like,
and
a woman started it, and an alleged woman started it.
And it's sad,
and
because
all I've seen is spewing hate. All of these women have, even Eva Marie in her own way, had a place in a role to play. Yeah. You and this is not something I talk about all the time. But when I was 15 years old, I used to fucking backyard wrestle. I used to fucking take bumps. That shit fucking hurts. Anybody who goes out there in that fucking ring and does that shit, I have the utmost respect for. I may not like their push, Alexa Bliss, but what I will not do is shit all over her career and what she has done. I will not do that to her. Yeah. She has worked hard and earned the pushes she's gotten. In my opinion, why I'm so happy with WWE overall is because there's not many people I think don't deserve the spots. These seem like awesome people, and they're doing the best they fucking can to work for somebody like Vince. That's the way I see it. And so to see all these, Vince is the one. Hey, why are you not mad at Vince? Why are you? It always, this the same thing with Roman. And I'm sorry, but why are you not mad at the man handing out the candy to who you think is the wrong? You're mad at the person who's getting it. Fucking shame on you. You should be mad at the people who run the show. And you know how you solve that, motherfuckers? Stop watching. Stop going to the shows. Because your clickety-clacks only getting my attention. Vince don't give a shit.
He don't.
Not one single fuck, because you still paying him money. And if you ain't, Saudi Arabia is. And if you don't like that, you could be salty and not watch that show. Like, I'm not going to watch that fucking... Who wants to watch in 2018 a wrestling show with nothing but dicks? No, ma'am.
And this is what I want to say about the people that shitting on WWE to go into
yes,
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, we can get into it, girl.
Like, here's the thing. If the citizens of Saudi Arabia had it their way, their country wouldn't be ran by that government. The WWE, like, this also answers to people higher up than him when it comes to his company. I'm pretty sure they look at the pros and cons of them going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
If the cons outweigh the pros, they wouldn't be going to Saudi Arabia. But you know what? Obviously, they're willing to pay them money. Money talks, bullshit walks. And not only that, the citizens of America don't be trying to act all fucking high and mighty because our damn country is fucking shitty too.
Human rights abuses.
Okay, thank you.
Human rights abuses here in America.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
You make a good. If you're a American wrestling fan and you talking about WWE going to Saudi Arabia, wow, your president is Donald Trump. You're just letting it happen.
And you're just letting it happen.
And also,
for wrestling fans, y'all can shut the fuck up too, because y'all don't even have a fucking women's division. Shut the fuck up.
Ooh. So here's the thing else. I saw a tweet a long time ago that said something to the tune of WWE made $45 million profit off of that Greatest Royal Rumble show. So I think it's very obvious with that type of profit off of that one show, that allows NXT to keep running, because I think I've heard them say that NXT does not generate money. The Performance Center does not generate money.
NXT loses money.
Yes.
The European shit loses money.
So
these tournaments losing money.
So Saudi Arabia is a means to an end. It just is. It just is.
And here's the thing: Saudi Arabia didn't even allow their people to have fucking entertainment. So the fact that they are letting them be entertained by WWE, how you know they won't be the cause of change for women to finally wrestle in fucking Saudi Arabia?
Exactly. Look at what they did in Dubai.
Look at the bigger picture. And that's what y'all want everything to belong to y'all. WWE has a larger fan base around the fucking globe.
And you know what? I will say this because I'm going to reference it probably all night as we talk about, especially when we talk about like the Raw, and I will talk about the live reactions that I saw. When I was at Raw in Dallas this week, I was floored. Because prior to this, I lived in the East Coast, so I had gone to 2 Raws in Newark and a SmackDown in Newark. And well, 2 Raws in Newark, 1 SmackDown in Newark, and 1 Raw in Brooklyn.
I love when Raw goes to Dallas. Oh my God.
Listen, I loved it. I loved it more than the Brooklyn crowd, to be very honest. But
I love when they go to Texas.
When I was there, I was looking at a variety of families. I was about to like lose my shit because the little boys and girls with their little tiny title belts, and they're like 3. I'm like, oh my God, they're so cute. But the amount of families I saw, the variety of faces that I saw, it was so impactful. I even sat there like, wow, I'm sitting in a row by myself next to a group of teenagers that came together, and they were like a mixed bag of kids. And I'm just like, this is really a multicultural event. And when I think about that in comparison to the video that I saw outside of the All In pay-per-view,
which was what? All male, mostly whites.
It was. So it's one of those things, and there's nothing wrong if you like different types of wrestling. You can like, it's not about that, but it's more so like the audience in WWE is entirely different to a lot of these niche programs. So like, let me tell you, that one track mind is frustrating to hear.
As somebody who wants to go to a live event, you have to weigh everything and who makes up the crowd. Honestly, you do have to think about that when you purchase your tickets. Exactly. The first time I went to a live show, I was nervous. I didn't know who was going to be there. I'm taking my kids. And I'm from Mississippi, so I usually go to like concert. Like if a rock band comes to Mississippi, I'm not going to go to their show because it's mostly white people. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to feel safe with all these white people around me. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not. It's just facts. But I went to that show, and it was just a mix black and white people I had ever seen at a show in Mississippi, ever. Was at a WWE event. So I'm not, some things are bigger than your little woke tweet.
Yeah. I can say the same when I went to the Birmingham live event, same thing. Yeah. So it's like, it frustrates me to no end when you see these hardcore wrestling fans thinking that they should only cater to them. No, bullshit. You have 205 Live, you have NXT.
Oh my God. Speak on it.
They didn't forget about you guys.
Like, what more do you want?
And especially NXT.
Yeah, they celebrate the Attitude Era with the Raw 25th anniversary. They finna do the SmackDown anniversary soon. They finna bring back all these nostalgia acts, which is something All In did with their freaking pay-per-view.
Listen,
so I mean, it's just very frustrating, and it's just oh my God. I'm finna get pissed off.
See one of these fans and they give off this tweet that make you go, what the fuck? Click on their profile, slide on down, because I guarantee you they have liked or retweeted some MAGA shit. And I don't even respond. I just block them and move on. I'm telling you, sometimes I be getting mad at certain things and I be like, what's going on? Because I told somebody last week, he was like, oh, fire. I ain't doing it for followers. I'm doing it because that's my opinion. And I told him thusly, I have more people blocked on Twitter than are following me. I guarantee you, I have like 1,000 something people. I have so many celebrities and wrestlers and fans blocked. So Same. I have crafted a bubble where none of this, and I have so many words muted. For a long time, I had Roman Reigns' name muted because his fans was getting on my fucking nerves. I was like, you know what, bitch, I ain't gonna block you, but I am gonna mute all your Roman tweets because you getting on my nerves this week.
But,
Oh my God.
and that's what I do too, because it's like I say I like I said on the first show, the names that get you blocked. I say it's at the point where whether it's with Roman fans or any type of, even if it's with anti-Roman haters, Roman fans or whatever, any negativity, any bullshit, I block and move on unless they come in my mentions and start shit with me. That's when I be the asshole. But other than that, I'm not. It's the same shit, just a different day. And I say this,
Yep.
and like some of my mutuals that I follow respond to the people that I have fucking muted or blocked. That I see them arguing with every freaking day, and it's like, dude, they can spew the bullshit all they want. Facts are facts. He brings in money. They ain't stopping shit.
When I tell you,
they ain't stopping nothing.
It did not matter. Seth Rollins had a great reaction. It wasn't like Roman's. When Roman, the minute that first hit, when I tell you, everybody was up and was like, and waiting for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the whole rest of the show, I did not see that reaction for anybody else.
Thank you.
And I'm just like, it's not a joke. And to be honest, Roman is a different performer than I saw a few years ago.
He is.
Like, it's phenomenal seeing him now.
So I'm so proud of, like, to watch him from like a little rookie baby in the shit when they ain't even want to tag him in because he was so pretty. He gonna take all their attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw you, Dean and Seth. I ain't salty no more. But for a moment, all Roman did was come in there for like 2 minutes and be like, okay, are they gonna let him wrestle? But from that to what he is now, I'm so proud of it. That's why I don't care. I can't. The things I was used to, I get mad about or used to was his booking, and I can't care about that no more.
And that's the thing. And here's the thing. This is what is so fucking awesome. Even when he loses, he's probably the only wrestler right now where it doesn't stop his momentum at all. He can still find ways to be entertaining. He can lose big matches and still be where he is, where it doesn't affect him. What other wrestler in the modern day era of this generation where, you know, can take loses and it not affect him? Roman is the only person right now aside from John Cena, but we're not counting him because he's hardly there anymore. But I'm just saying.
I know what you mean, because like, Seth loses some matches and we're barely talking about him. You know, like, everybody just loses their momentum, full stop.
And it's like, and that's why I don't be tripping for real, because when I tell you, I believe, it's like I always say in the WWE, the cream will rise to the top. Either you have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chris Jericho said in an interview, and that's why I always go with what a wrestler thinks or what he's seeing in business rather than somebody like Dave fucking Messer or Ryan fucking Satin or Wade Keller. He said, Vince McMahon always says, I just book the shit, you go out there and make it work.
Yeah.
And if you can make it work, and of course, you have to have the machine behind you to get to where you are, but it's up to your talent for you to prove to the audience and to prove to Vince McMahon that you deserve to be in the spot that he pushed you in at the end of the day.
Yeah. Now, I will say...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I will say, since we talk about booking, can we talk about Evolution? Because this we want talent hashtag is trash. It just is. You know, we see that it's unacceptable. We know these women work hard. The Bellas don't need WWE. I mean, like they don't need WWE anymore. They do it because they want to be there, as a lot of women do. But I will say, I don't think that WWE is putting their best foot forward with Evolution. Honestly, I don't.
They're women. That's always been my complaint. All you have to do is say history making and move on. And people be saying I'm poo-pooing it. But no, that's all they do with Sasha and Charlotte. History. That's all they do. We're going to do the first ever. And I guess when they run out of first evers, they'll have something else to do. But until then.
It's like you said, Claudia, like, and personally, I'm not even... I'm not even pissed about the fact that Sasha and Bailey are tag teaming together. Like, I'm cool with it. But just like you said, they could have went into Evolution with a good ass feud between Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah. They had,
like,
I feel like they're throwing at their opportunities.
Like, it's a lot of things that they could be doing right now to make Evolution what it is. They don't have much time. Sometimes I do be feeling like they wasting time. So it's kind of like I understand the assignment, but I also understand the complaints about it as far as them not building up the feuds the way they need to be doing it, and booking, certain women's wrestlers or the storyline. So it's like, I get it from both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, but what we're not gonna do is put down some women to make other women. That's bullshit, and cut that shit out. I wanted to know about this Dave Meltzer, because he's blocked, so I stay out of his orbit. I keep them squares out of my circle.
Okay.
What did he do? What did he do?
This what he said. Somebody asked him, do you know what happened to the Roman Reigns steroid allegations? It sort of just died out. Did WWE pay hush money by any chance? Which was a stupid fucking tweet or question to ask. But he said, the people making those allegations promised proof, said they had it, and then had no proof of anything. Until they could show documented proof, you can't take them seriously. Which is funny coming from dick face Dave Meltzer, because you're the motherfucker that took it more seriously than anybody else.
Oh, yes.
He's the one who stirred that hornet's nest right on up, baby.
So shut the fuck up. And people was calling your ass out on it. And you talking about you can't take them seriously, but you took it seriously out of everybody and talking about it's because of the timeline and all shit. He ain't have shit.
Listen,
nothing.
I am not a doctor. Lord knows I am not a doctor. And but I am familiar with professional wrestlers who juice. I am.
I can't tell.
I can. I was able to tell Eddie Guerrero was on that shit. That's why I can't watch his last run, because it saddens me, because that's what fucking kills him, being on cocaine and steroids. And you can see in the traps, it's a different thing. Now, here's the thing about Roman, that like people are stupid, is steroids make you bigger. See, like steroids, they aren't just created so that athletes can cheat. They're actually medicinal uses for steroids. I have a sister who was on steroids. She was in an accident. She took steroids for her knee, but she was a lazy bitch and just sat there and ate. So because of that, I'm serious. Because of that, she blew the fuck up twice her size because she was on steroids from a doctor.
Yeah.
I took steroids after my eye surgery. It's to heal and repair most of the time. Roman Reigns, whatever he failed that test for was for him to lose weight. People say Adderall. I believe that shit. Yeah. Now, he was fat. He didn't need steroids to make him any bigger. His problem, as his fans know, is that he's self-conscious about his body because of motherfuckers like Finn Balor and Seth Rollins who got 12 fucking abs and walk around naked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to lose weight, not gain it. He does not need steroids. That's why I knew it was bullshit. If they had said something other than steroids, I would have given it any. I knew it was fake from the jump. It was people whose opinions I respect, that I looked at them differently, because I knew the way they were talking about it, that they was hoping it was true and he was gonna get out of that main event. And I was like, I can understand. Like, that's fucked up. That's like me sitting here when Steve Austin was arrested for domestic violence, celebrating that shit. I never did that, and I never liked that man, but I never celebrated that shit. And it's over. It's a TV show, for fuck's sakes. Goodness gracious.
I mean, the fact that you damn wrestling fans pay your hard-earned $11 a month to listen to this motherfucker that really don't have no scoops. All it is fucking assumption. He's a fucking wrestling historian, for crying out loud. That's it.
He's a wrestling fan. No, people talking about Any one of us, if we sat there and watched all them fucking videos and rubbed elbows and kissed wrestlers' ass, we could do that job. He did not have to go to college or learn any fucking skill to become Dave Meltzer. He is a fucking wrestling mark, just like the rest of us.
I mean,
that is my guy's honest opinion. And whoever, people listen, people sit here, well, no, his opinion is no more important than mine. You feel me? I don't give a fuck what Dave Meltzer thinks about wrestling. I am baffled and shocked and appalled that this old ass man is the person who is the standard bearer in wrestling. Until we get in America and all over the country, until we get our mouths off the dicks of these old white men, we are never going to progress.
Now, I have to say, with Dave Meltzer, here's the thing. When I got back into wrestling, I would hear his name all over the place, and I had no idea who he was. And when I tell you the first time I saw a picture, which was honestly, the first time I saw his face, because of course I knew who he was, but I would say like maybe a year ago I found out that he was never a wrestler. Because I remember being like, is he a wrestler? Like, why is he so important? And then with the Peyton Royce scandal was the first time I saw his face. And I said, hold on, you look like a full-on bullfrog. You
crack. Be honest.
Like, what? And you are judging people's appearance, talk about who gained weight, who didn't gain weight, who
his ass look like he don't fucking his damn self.
I've been a smart. I'm an OG. I used to buy when they were actually sheets, when they were actually a magazine. I used to buy those. I used to make wrestling scrapbooks. Understand?
Oh my God.
Yes, baby. I'm an old OG smart. It ain't shit. That's why I laugh when these people tell me it ain't shit you could tell me that I don't already know, baby. It's a very few people, and I highly respect them. Reverend Claire being one of them. I highly respect people who know more about wrestling than I do, but not motherfuckers like him. He has been a sexist pig all his fucking career. He has always talked shit about women's wrestling. The reason why he puts over Joshi wrestling is because it's something different. He don't know those women either. He has no idea. He's not interested in that. He has said so many negative shit about Sable, a woman who I follow. A ECW manager named Francine. He used to talk about her like a dog. Understand? And people say it was 90s, it was different. No, you was a sexist pig in the 90s too. Like human, it's just people have the privilege to speak up. That's the difference now. More people aren't just taking it. You know what? It's us millennial women. We've seen our mothers and our grandmothers put up with your patriarchal bullshit, and we like, ain't no man finna talk to you. What the fuck is going on here?
At all.
That's what's going on. Us women. You can't just come out your mouth and tell me I need to lose weight. Look at you.
And
who is you? I'm like Plies with Dave Meltzer. Who is you? Who is you?
You mad?
You big mad. Because Roman Reigns, the big dog of the World Wrestling Federation. I love when people tweet that shit. I tweet it every time. They're looking out.
I mean, if the All-In pay-per-view didn't show how biased these motherfuckers is, oh my God. They show their true colors
every time.
Pay-per-view. And then I don't talk about this person because I really don't give a fuck about him, but Kenny Omega is the biggest dick rider of Dave Meltzer I've ever seen. He actually
who is that? Who is that?
Kenny Omega.
Who is that? Let's talk about the WWE.
I'm just saying, man.
But let's get on because we done bitched about them long. They've had enough of our time. They fucking suck and we know it. So your thoughts about
I'm being a thought right now in the chat, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Get your thought on, girl.
I'm being a thought in that chat. Like, I was like, is Drew on steroids? Drew's natural.
No, Drew took something. I ain't saying he's still on him, but he didn't used to be that swole. I'm just gonna say that he looked good. He did the right amount. Some people go too far. Gender went too far, but Drew did it. Drew did it just enough.
I'm finna be a ring rat that night. I ain't care. I was like, I'm finna go out to these cars tonight and trot on out.
So,
like, you want some chocolate in your milk? I'm done.
What's up with that main event of Hell in a Cell? Girls, what? I need your thoughts and opinions because Brock Lesnar, see, I thought I had just let off a tweet that I'm happy. But see, I felt some fuckery in the air because I did not even watch the main event. I was like, this pay-per-view been good. I am not finna ruin my mood. Y'all tell me what happens. And
okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, explain what happens.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Have you ever, aside from Dolph fucking Ziggler, have you ever, like, as soon as you see their face, they just take out all the fucking atmosphere out of whatever it is that you are enjoying? That is what Brock Lesnar did to me Sunday night. As soon as the music hit and I saw his face, I damn near turned off my damn TV. I was like, I know, like, hell, because here's the thing. SummerSlam was great. SummerSlam was on its way to being great. I was enjoying Roman and Braun's main event match in Hell in a Cell. It was just getting good. But then Brock Lesnar comes out and the pay-per-view went from great to good, all because his ass decided to show up on my damn TV. On my TV. And then, not only that, I was okay. I mean, of course, the WWE had to find a way to protect both Braun and Roman. But you're not protecting them when you have this motherfucker come out and basically destroy both of them. Like, what the fuck? And I was okay with the Shield and Dolph and Drew coming out because that would have been enough to protect both Braun and Roman. But then what I didn't like about that was them four basically having a whole ass match on top of the fucking cell, basically taking away the spotlight from Braun and Roman. That was the only thing I didn't like about those four coming out. But Braun coming out damn near almost made me sour on the whole damn pay-per-view. Like, I understand why he needed to show up because maybe they're continuing the storyline from Braun coming out and distracting Brock at SummerSlam, but I felt like it was too early for him to show up at SummerSlam. They could have waited like a few weeks or something because they were still gonna Braun and Roman was still gonna be feuding until then. I feel like he didn't have to show up at SummerSlam. Dean, Seth, and Dolph and Drew was enough.
You mean Hell in a Cell, right?
Huh?
You mean Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, like Dean, Seth, and Drew and Dolph was enough at Hell in a Cell to protect both Braun and Roman. The only thing I didn't like about the Dogs of War and the Shield coming out, I didn't like that they was having like another 10-minute match on top of the cell because it took away the spotlight from Braun and Roman. But they didn't need Brock at Hell in a Cell that night. They didn't need him there, I felt like. And that's what ruined. The main event was still good. I was okay with the shenanigans, but Brock being there, I wasn't okay with. I still enjoyed Hell in a Cell. It was good, which is what I was praying for. It didn't completely ruin the pay-per-view for me, but I just don't want to. I don't want to see him no more. Like, I'm over seeing Brock Lesnar. That's my problem that I'm having right now. It was hell when he was champion because he was hardly there. And was it shit happened Raw with him being champion, him not being there? It was stalling storylines and all of that. I don't want him there.
It was, I mean, for me, when I saw the pay-per-view, so I had my network, canceled for a while. And I didn't cancel it in like anger or anything. I just wasn't going to pay for it because I wasn't watching it. And I wasn't even watching pay-per-views, to be honest. So I was like, I'm just not going to pay for it. So I'm scrambling to resubscribe to watch this pay-per-view. I was excited. When I saw, first of all, I was annoyed at the amount of complaints off of a cage being painted red. Was it ever that serious? And it looked cool.
Yeah, it looked cool.
It looked so cool, but people are crying.
I agree. I thought it looked cool. I thought it added a different kind of ambiance
to the thing. And people are crying about that. And I'm like, just why are you here? You know, like for me, when I got frustrated with the show to the point that I felt like I couldn't enjoy it and watch it, I just took a break. It's not that hard. I don't understand.
It's really not. Why? There's other stuff to watch.
There's games to play, books to read. Why? So for me, with the main event, I was liking it. Obviously, I think I'm with everyone. Like, I'm agreeing. Like the whole. I don't mind the chicanery because these things are to be expected. You knew what was happening. You knew there was going to be a mess. You know,
especially if Mick Foley was the referee,
which that I didn't even want. To be very honest, I was already kind of over the match from that announcement because I get they were doing it because they want to plug that his show right after. So you know, I understand it's business. Whatever, y'all do what you want to do. I wasn't too excited about that because I didn't want to see him be, you know, just being
mumbling and bumbling around because he got brain damage and they need to stop having him do anything.
Look, I mean, we're gonna talk about it. So it's not good. And so I wasn't too excited from that. Then, okay, Dolph and Drew come out. And it's like, okay, crap, they're coming out. We know this is gonna happen. Then we see Seth and Dean come out, and we're like, okay, great. I'm with Tyler. It was like, okay, but why are we watching them? They get up on top. First of all, I wanted to throw up. I'm gonna keep it $150 with y'all. I cannot deal with the heights. I was dizzy sitting on my couch in my living room watching them climb up. I'm like, that's too high. Oof, I was sick. I was nauseous the whole time. Like I couldn't do it. But you know, they're having this whole second match up there. So Roman and Braun are basically just lying down in the ring at this point. Like it's pathetic. They're having this whole brawl. Then we see Braun come out. Then it's like, okay, there's more chicanery, more mess. Then we see, you know, then when Brock shows up, my frustration with it is once again, it deads storylines. Like it just doesn't add anything to the show because even if you watch how they handled it Monday night, it's almost like it was two separate shows, like two separate matches. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing about what Brock did that was really able to be continued on because he's not going to be there. And so for me, I don't care that Brock wants to show up once in a while. I care I would almost prefer it if they just had him like, oh, I'm Brock Lesnar, I'm coming here to fight. And like
The Undertaker?
Yes, like where it's like a one moment.
Like a separate thing away from everybody else.
Yes.
Completely skip. You don't have to pay attention to it all.
She was saying so.
And my thing is about Dean, Seth, and Drew and Dolph having a match on top of the cell. You could have had Braun and Roman brawling while they was up on the cell fighting. It would have been better than them just laying there for 10 whole minutes while they fighting on top of the cell. They
climbing up just to throw down. It was what?
I was like, why you having them lay there? At least have them fight while they fighting up on top of the cell. That would have been more entertaining too, instead of them having just laying there.
Ashley Powell in the chat just said, I prefer Brock to show up for Mania and that's it. I completely agree.
I agree with that too.
Just show up for me. Like, I don't care. It's, you know, because for me, it's not even just that he doesn't want to, he doesn't show up often and that we can't have the integral, you know, storylines to bounce off of from it. It's also that the matches have been lackluster. And that's what's frustrating. Yeah. After all of that, if you're going to be a prize fighter, give me a fight worth the prize. That's all I need. Like, I
don't need to see no more fucking F5s and suplexes. Like, I'm over that shit.
It made
Roman look fucking bad because we know he can have good matches with any fucking body. That's why I was like, I don't want him facing Roman anymore. He lost at SummerSlam. That should be the end of their feud. They should not be wrestling each other anymore. They shouldn't. I said I'll be okay if Brock is just going after Braun, and then once it's time for the Australian showdown, then they can fight each other. But if he coming after Braun and it's just Braun and Brock feuding, and then Roman moves on to fight somebody or feud with somebody else until then I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that too. So it's like I just keep him away from Roman, please, because he ain't gonna do shit but lay down for him. And I'm pretty sure that's how Brock wants it.
And it wastes time. Because even if I think back to this year's WrestleMania, I remember being so frustrated with the match between Roman and Brock. And then when Roman's busted open and it's bleeding like I'm like, oh my God. And what was crazy to me is that moment when Roman hulked up, and I'm thinking, oh shit, now we're getting a match. Now it's about to turn up. That would have been a good ass moment. And then he just did it just to get beat again and to put pinned again. Like, it's like you're wasting our time. I don't care that who I want to win didn't win. I care about what you tell me about that win and what you tell me about that loss. And the stories that they tell have been lacking.
Especially with Brock.
I want him to go to MMA and do a CM Punk and never even talk about WWE again. You hear me? Go the fuck away. Period. He's never wanted to be a wrestler. He's just here for the money. They say that about a lot of other people. But it's true about this asshole. And he don't give a shit. I don't know why he would even have fans. He doesn't give a shit to entertain you. He only wants your money. He doesn't give a fuck about you. Period. Like, I don't understand how people like that. He's a sociopath. Like, what the fuck?
And the thing is, I don't even shit on people that just do shit for money, because obviously, it kills me when people try to shit on.
He's doing it for my entertainment, and he's not entertaining, so fuck him.
Exactly.
I understand with Brock, but it's like with other people, they try to use that critique on, talking about he or she isn't passionate. They just do. I said, okay, yeah. If I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, every person that is passionate about something plans to be a professional at it. If I'm a wrestler and it started off as my passion, and I plan on going to the top, which is WWE, you damn right I want to get paid for it. I ain't gonna sit up here and get my ass kicked for free. But it doesn't mean my passion went somewhere. Now, of course, with other people, you can clearly see that they don't give two shits. They just want their money. Brock is one of them. But I'm also getting tired of fans trying to use that as a critique for other wrestlers, all because they don't like him or don't like him or her. That's my issue with that critique. Now, with people,
the only person I believe it about is Brock. Yeah. I don't believe it about I don't even believe it about Randy Orton. The only person I believe is only there for a check is Brock Lesnar, because he shows it. He fucking shows it. He does nothing else but show it. I can't believe that about anybody else. They have put in the work and the time. He didn't like being on the road. He didn't like doing this. He didn't like going to house shows. He thought he was too big for that when he was a full-time wrestler. That's why he left.
I just wish he would go to the UFC. And that match was a cluster. Like, the end of it, but when Dolph and Seth were falling off of the table, I didn't even pop for that. Like, I wasn't even like, oh my God. Like, I just didn't. I was like so indifferent, because at this point I'm just like, is Roman gonna lose his title or not? And so when I realized he didn't lose his title, I was like, okay, I guess. Like, it just, I didn't walk away from it feeling like, oh, this was such a great show, or a great final match. And it's hard because the final match does set the tone for the show. And it's like, I felt like it was such a great pay-per-view leading up until that moment. And then that just kind of soured my energy so much.
That's why I didn't watch it.
The main event was getting good. And I was, like I said, I was okay with Seth, Dean, Dolph, and Drew being in it, because that the storyline, the Hell in a Cell, like the storyline revolved around those guys.
Yeah.
But Brock didn't need to be there. So it's I was okay with the shenanigans, because we knew it was gonna be some shenanigans, because Mick Foley was the referee of it. But it's like, Brock showing up, that pay-per-view didn't need him. It was fine. with the stars that you had on that damn show. It didn't need him. That's how I felt. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, again, I still enjoyed the pay-per-view, is whatever. It's just, it's like, how can you expect the wrestlers to, the stars that you have, to bring new people in and stuff like that, but you keep bringing in these part-timers. And again, I don't have a problem with part-timers coming back. The only problem I have is I don't want part-timers winning the titles, because they aren't going to be around to either defend it or continue on the storyline that they have with these current main roster superstars that's on the roster. That's the only thing I don't want, is part-timers winning titles. That's it.
They need to have their own separate thing. I have a problem with them. Stop interacting and butting into the. You've had your careers. I've seen all of your career. You've had it. Like, sit down, be humble. Stop taking up big spots. Like, Vince, you can give me the millions of dollars. Just don't give me a big spot.
Taker, did you hear that? Undertaker taking people's spots, just showing up, doing stuff when you retire. Every time he has an emotional match, he strips. Okay, the first time they did the end of an era moment with him and Shawn Michaels, he took down his straps. The second time he came back, he took off a jacket. Last time he took off all his clothes and was just stripping in his ring. I feel like I'm afraid of this match, because I'm afraid that at this point he's going to be down to his drawers. What else? What more clothes can you take off?
I want to see.
I'm tired.
The briefs.
I'm tired.
I think at this point it's like Undertaker is just in love with wrestling so much that he just doesn't want to give it up yet.
You see, the thing about it is, because even when I'm looking at him on Monday night, there's a podcast I listen to, the Black Announce Table. One of the guys on there absolutely can't stand. Okay, he can't stand Undertaker. He thinks he's big trash, and it's so funny. But he said something that's so true. Like, name an Undertaker promo that you remember.
Oh, shit. The one against The Rock when he said, I remember, I like the one that he said against The Rock. Like, he was like, when they were feuding at the time for the title, and he was like, I'm still down with the devil, and I will still go medieval on your ass. Like, everybody was like, oh, shit. Now, I remember that one, because it's like, ain't nobody ever, like, shut down Rock like that before. So it was like, I thought that was a cool one. But other than that, yeah.
Tanya, do you have an Undertaker promo that you remember? Because I don't even remember that one.
This is silly. It is. This is during the Attitude Era when Sable had the belt, and she would come out and say, this is for the men. No, this is for the women who want to be me and the men who come and see me. And then she'll grind around.
Mm-hmm.
One time, the Undertaker, and he was he said, I didn't come out here to cause no problems. I just want you to show me what you got.
Oh.
And I thought that was so, and then she started grinding and he grabbed her throat. So
I remember.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know why that popped in my head when you said that. I remember a couple of them, like the one when the week after Paul Heyman revealed the stuff about Kane, and he came out and he gave a real good promo then, like he was looking directly at the camera and all that shit. But of course, that was when Vince had competition.
Yeah.
And so they had the right interest and stuff.
Yeah. And his promos when he was feuding with Triple H, his promos against Triple H when they were face to face weren't bad either.
Yeah, but there's nothing that stands out, really, like nothing he's really said as a character other than rest in peace. Listen, that's my favorite Undertaker. No bump, barely bumping, fucking up people. Actually, zombie Undertaker.
I like American Badass Biker Taker, and I
like American Badass more.
I love Biker Taker.
Heel American Badass, not the face American Badass. Is too much moo-ha, moonshine and rednecking and let's go beat up some niggers type of. No, he had them tees. He had too much of that.
I ain't think that was the mentality, but that was just me. But I didn't think that was the mentality, but I was like, I mean, I liked it both. I mean, both heel and face American Badass I thought was cool as fuck. Like,
for me, I think part of me thinks that Taker wasn't happy with his last match with Roman and wants to fix it, right? Like undo it and fix it.
Oh yeah.
But I also I look at him, and when I'm watching him in the ring, it was cool to see him, and it was cool. I won't lie, like I even though I know he's like under MAGA, I like to call him in my own time. But even though, you know, I'm like not too fond of him anymore because I just, you know, once the curtains kind of lifted, it's hard to enjoy people. For me, the same. I still screamed like a little bitch when he I'm like, oh my God, like I lost it anyway, right?
Hey, that was Mark Calloway that supports Donald Trump. The Undertaker has no political leanings.
This is true.
That's how you gotta compartmentalize it.
I gotta work on my compartmentalizing. You're right. Like,
the thing is, he never told anybody what political side. It's just
somebody found out he donated to him. He did personal
business and talking about he supports Trump. I said, man, Taker ain't never told nobody who he supported. I said, y'all just crazy as fuck being in wrestlers' personal lives. Y'all crazy as hell.
Well, you know, Twitter makes it quick. I feel like I don't even have to be invasive. Twitter just lets me know. But I think all of it to say, seeing Undertaker was cool. I like what Shawn Michaels has done, because at the end of the day, Shawn Michaels left at the top of his game, and we want to see him back. And it will always feel good to want when he pops up, because we know he can still do it. But with Undertaker, he's not giving us that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like he keeps having these matches. He just keeps going. And it was like how Ric Flair, towards the end, it was kind of like almost embarrassing. And you're like, oof, like, you know, just like sit down. I don't want Undertaker to do that. And I feel like he's heading to that territory where he's going to like, it's going to start to be embarrassing. And we're going to have to watch it. Like, watch him be so far away from what he once was.
Yeah, it's kind of getting to the point where every time a Taker match is announced, it's like you see everybody on Twitter saying, instead of saying, oh, this is going to be a good match, people are just saying, I hope it's good, or I hope, you know, Taker, you know, is able to move around and stuff. Like, it's getting to that point.
Yeah. That's exactly and that's what I don't like. I don't like that he's kind of tarnishing his own career in this way, because he's just not able to produce like he once did. And it's fine. I understand if you're not able to produce it like you once did, but it's just don't make us look at it.
He's having his Michael Jordan going to Seattle run of his career. Please, no, bro, don't do this. Don't do this.
I know you don't think I actually know what that meant, right?
Oh my God. Okay. See, I am showing my age. Michael Jordan.
No, I know nothing about sports. I didn't even know what Dallas teams.
Michael, you know who Michael Jordan is, right? Though.
Number 23 from Chicago Bulls.
He retired from the Bulls with his second three-peat, and then he couldn't sit his ass down, so he went to the Seattle Supersonics and was embarrassed. And people were like, "Should Jordan have come back?" And the answer was no.
No, it wasn't the Seattle. It was the Washington Wizards.
Was it?
Yep.
See, I didn't ever watch, but it was the Washington Wizards. That's even worse, baby. I thought he went to the Supersonics.
I think after he retired from basketball the first time, he tried to play baseball for the Birmingham Barons.
Yeah, that was
represent, but he was trash. He was trash. So he came back and played for the Washington Wizards. Everybody was like, "Nah, boo." That ain't gonna fly.
And the Undertaker's doing that right now.
Yes, the Undertaker's doing that. That's where I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. Like, for me, it's like, okay, I get it. If he wants to undo his last match, you know, because he got a new hip, so he started talking wild spicy. He started getting real extra. He felt good about himself, you know, and I get it. So you want to undo your last match. If you didn't like your last match, I get it, and you want to undo it. But I just feel like I don't want to see Taker past this WrestleMania upcoming. I don't want to see him past this WrestleMania, because first of all, it's a waste of time.
He will be there.
He will be there.
He will be. in New York.
You want to know something funny? When one of my coworkers, she's not a wrestling fan by any means, but she has brothers, so she's aware of stuff. So when she asked me how it went, and she's like, how was wrestling or whatever. And I was like, oh, I made a joke about, I was showing her a couple pictures, so I showed her like the Undertaker set. She's like, the Undertaker? Like the same Undertaker from when I was a kid? He was old when I was a kid. She was like flabbergasted that he's still out here. So it's like,
listen,
it's been a while.
That's what everybody said, like who hasn't watched wrestling, and you talk about it and you bring up the Undertaker, and they're like, the Undertaker's still wrestling? What?
Literally. You're like, are you kidding?
Then they start, hey, well, what about Stone Cold? It's like, no, he's not. He can't. God. I don't think he would if he could, though. I think Stone Cold would be the type that when he retired, he would retire. Because he done walked out of that bitch when he could still wrestle. Like, I don't need this. I'm leaving.
I feel
okay. I want to talk to you guys about this tweet from Cody Rhodes and get you guys' take on it.
All right.
He said, Cody Rhodes basically said, somebody said, is Cody Rhodes a face or a heel right now? Cody Rhodes said, just a wrestler. Those don't exist anymore. Crowds, contexts are different every single time. And somebody said under his tweet, this is very true. Shades of gray are more interesting in my opinion. So I just want to know, with Roman, how come that's an issue?
Because it is. Girl, don't question
it. She said it is.
Yeah.
That's because it is.
He's always going to be a face to me, even if they do turn him heel for very specific reasons.
Like, if he turns in, I'm still cheering him, so I don't care.
Yes. I'm still going to support him. I actually want him to be heel, so.
I do, too. I feel like I want him to be heels just so he can, like, destroy everything.
But I don't want him to cheat. I want him to keep that same moral code where he will still fight anybody. I just want him to be a little bit like nastier and evil. That's
like,
it.
Here's my thing. I feel like if he do turn, he won't be any different than what he is now. He'll just be a little bit more cockier, talk shit like he has been recently. Like
Becky.
The facial expressions.
Ooh, Becky's that's my bitch.
The facial expressions that he has won't change. Like, I was like, he'll just be 10 times more strong and booked more strongly as a heel. So it's like, y'all sure y'all want that? Because y'all gonna be complaining 10 times more because he ain't gonna be chicken shit. Because if I had it my way, if he a heel, he ain't gonna be no chicken shit heel. That's for damn sure.
So here's how I feel about Shades of Grey wrestling storytelling. I feel like the problem with it is that they're not telling Shades of Grey stories. They're being inconsistent and they're not having any continuity. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that,
suck, though, you know.
Yeah. And like, so I think a great example of that is Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Becky, that was Shades of Grey storytelling because there were people who genuinely supported Charlotte because they like Charlotte, and there are people who genuinely supported Becky because they agree with Becky. So that was Shades of Grey storytelling. So the gray area is that both sides have a point. You know, with Roman and with a lot of those types of situations. And I think Cody's situation is different because Cody is not coming to a continuous promotion. He's jumping into this promotion, jumping into that promotion. So he can't just be a face or a heel in one across the board. It's just not going to work, you know? But with WWE, I feel like a lot of times they try to pretend that they're doing Shades of Grey, but the reality is they're just being inconsistent is all. You know, they're just like, oh, well, we're not going to, like Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was not a Shades of Grey character. They were just being inconsistent.
Yeah.
With their story. Like they made him bully somebody, but they were trying to make it like a Shades of Grey because we like him. That's terrible. He was bullying. They try to make him a bad guy now, but everybody's still cheering. It sucks.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, because somebody tried to tell me when he was bullying Kevin Owens, he was like, somebody tried to tell me he's Shades of Grey. I said, ain't no way in hell he's a fucking heel.
He's bullying a man. This man is like crying.
No, he's a heel. I said he's a freaking heel. And then when he joined Drew and Dolph, I said, y'all still think he Shades of Grey?
Not at all.
I said, this ain't no Shades of Grey storytelling.
But you see now, Becky, because I made a comment about this actually on Twitter. I was saying with Becky, the coordination, I think, is the start of her actually connecting as a heel, because her actions, her attitude, while it was badass and it was fun to watch, at the same time it was a bit unnecessary, because you could even hear it in the crowd. They weren't too excited afterward, because it's like, okay, like I can't really cheer for, like, she's blatantly being mean now. You know,
see, I still got that. They was.
Oh, I was getting my life. I was getting my life, but I wouldn't be surprised if she.
Like the storyline, I agree, was Shades of Grey, because both of them had a point, and people were going to go with Becky because, like, you know, based on how the story came across, it was like, okay, what y'all doing to Becky what Charlotte doing to Becky ain't right. But then when she win the title, she's like, I just want you to call me queen, or I want you to put this belt around my waist and stuff. Like, she was freaking going in on Charlotte. I was like, okay, so she's really, so it's like, y'all tried to make her y'all tried to make her this Shades of Grey person, but really she's displaying heel tendencies through her words and her actions.
The thing about Shades of Grey, because I write, and all I write, this is my wheelhouse. There's nobody who is all good in my books. The main protagonists of my books are usually fucked up individuals. Yeah. And the way to write a Shade of Grey, because some of my villains, they're horrible people. They've done horrible things, but in their mind, they're right. Yeah. And some people can see it from their point of view, but at the end of the day, you still need somebody that most people are going to agree with and most people are going to disagree with in storytelling, no matter what individual actions that they take and what you give them. Like, there's characters in my books who are straight up murderers and they sell drugs, but they fucking donate millions of dollars to charity and fucking kill rapists and have some kind of sense of moral. Like, that's why I don't want Roman to ever cheat in his career, because that moral code about him has stayed pretty much fucking consistent during his whole single run. And I don't care what characteristics he shows, keep that same. So if you can keep a moral code for a bad guy, you will still have somebody to do Shades of Grey, because The Miz is a perfect Shade of Grey character. He is funny, he is charismatic, but at his core, he's a bad guy. He's evil. His intentions are not good. He is there to cheat and get over and he's right about Daniel Bryan. I agree. He is right. But the WWE is a place where being all noble and modest and wrestling, that's not getting you very fucking far. Triple H running the company, and you saw his career. So when some people get on this moral high ground, I'm like, they look who they bosses are. So you have to consider the world that WWE is in. It's a world that is right and perfect for Shades of Grey characters.
Well, I also like about Roman Reigns too, not only is the moral code thing, but I kind of see him as an eye for an eye type of guy. Like, if you do something to me, I'm gonna do it back at you. Like, I don't give a damn. I'll handle the consequences later.
Yes. So he realized, like, he had to.
Yeah. And so it's like, and what you said about, like, realistically, everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not a good two shoes. They eventually, at some point in your life, you're gonna do some bad things.
Yes.
When you feel like it's necessary, you feel like, hey, that's the only option I have, in order to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of reminds me of the TV show Dexter. He's a serial killer, but he goes after people that kill children or rape women or stuff, even though he does bad things himself.
Yeah, he's a fucking serial killer.
But he goes after, but he kills bad guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's fucked up in the head, but in his heart he feel like he's doing something right to keep from killing innocent people. He killing bad people.
And that's why we have to stop as fans focusing on one particular act. oh, this person ran an ambulance into a brick wall. You have to examine why they did it, the circumstances around it. And I think wrestling does give you shades of gray, but they know some people are going to be like, who's the heel and who's the face?
Yeah.
Because what wrestling fans do is say, don't treat me like I'm dumb, but I really am dumb.
Yeah.
So treat me like I'm
really
dumb.
am dumb.
And it's hard as fuck to write for people who act like that. It is.
It is.
And it's at a certain point, because I am a writer, if somebody came and told me, I like this character, I like everything about him, but I need you to make him the antagonist instead of the protagonist, I'll be like, suck my dick. This is my protagonist. I don't care if you don't want him to be the good guy. He's the good guy in the story I'm writing.
Yeah.
So I understand where Vince coming from at that point, and you be like, well, you give the customers what you want, but as an artist, do you really, or do you make what the fuck you want to? And then if the customer likes it, they accept it, and if that's what capitalism is supposed to be. Capitalism is not bending the wheel to the customer; it's providing a service, and if the customer likes it, they pay for it.
And the thing is, that's really when you stop having fun, is when you bending your back for the customer and not doing what you feel is right as far as your creativity goes.
And that's exactly, it brings back to what, what I was saying, what we were all saying in the beginning, where how diverse the shows are. Because a lot of times when they're saying like they don't give you what they want, it's like, I to be honest, as I look and as I watch wrestling Twitter and stuff, I'm just kind of like, I consider myself a casual fan. Pay-per-views, I'll watch Raw and SmackDown. I don't watch NXT, not because it's bad, just because I don't have time. I haven't seen the Mae Young Challenge yet, or the Cruiserweight Challenge yet, and I've heard so many great things, and it's been on my list, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I have watched the Mixed Match Challenge, and I always watch the Mixed Match Challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm a different fan base. I just am. There's nothing wrong with how I consume wrestling. It's just different. And like, so it's one of those things that I look like. I remember when AJ Lee was tearing through, and my favorite stuff from her was when she was doing was all the romance storylines. That was like some of my favorite stuff, because it made me feel like what I used to watch when I was a kid, and guys and girls were getting together and all kinds of things. Like, I love the romance aspect. And so for me, part of the reason why I haven't been enjoying wrestling as much is because I don't feel like we get enough of that. But I'm a different fan. And I think that's the problem with a lot of this stuff. It's like, they want shades of gray, but their shades of gray is, like, their shades of gray tends to be like, well, I want, to cheer. Like, their shades of gray is like, I feel. It's not even considering the storyline and everyone involved and who's consuming, because
I want to cheer.
There are kids who are going to look at things like the proper moral. Yep.
Like, let's just examine how Braun started getting those big cheers against Roman. He literally every week tried to kill Roman and yelled, "I'm not finished with you." And Roman tries to kill him once, and everybody was like,
"That's not how babyface supposed to act."
Shut the fuck. Listen. In storytelling, it's only logical. If somebody keeps kicking your ass, you're going to kick their ass back eventually. There's no face I've ever seen that's like, yeah, come on, keep hitting me in the face. I like it. Like,
Stone Cold was horrible to everybody.
Stone Cold was a sociopath, and that was the beginning of fans ignoring actions, because for fans ignoring what the actions meant, because the actions themselves were cool. Like throwing the middle finger, and like people, I think, and this is my big wrestling hot take, I did not enjoy Austin versus McMahon. If you sit down and look at a story in its complete telling, it was a shitty story. There were two shitty human beings doing shitty things to each other. And then in the end, they ended up being friends. And all of this was for nothing. All of it was for nothing. Nothing. There was no resolution. The resolution was, you know what? We've been fighting all this time. We're exactly alike. Well, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Let's be friends. Like, who? That's a good ending.
And then
that's the ending.
And then like what was killed me is like people were like I was hyped when Roman tried to kill Braun with that ambulance. I was and the thing was people saying that's not how face react. I said, but have you been paying attention? Y'all claim y'all want storylines, but then you totally disregard the storylines because it's Roman. I said this dude flipped an ambulance with Roman in it. Roman was on a stretcher. He threw him off the freaking dock or whatever. Roman tries to murder this dude one time, and y'all acting like it's not justified. And people was telling him it was completely justified, completely justified. I was hyped, so it's like that's. I said. So I was thinking, okay, WWE did this, but it got a lot of people talking. It got a lot of people thinking, did we did a double heel turn? I said, what double heel turn? What double heel turn? I said that was an eye for an eye move right there. Eye for an eye reaction. I said that's basically another part of Roman's character.
And then after he tried to kill Braun got up and walked away from that. So it's like it didn't even happen.
And I feel like I feel like they be putting themselves against a back wall with Braun sometimes. It's because it's like you have to. He's gonna have to lose eventually. Eventually, if you don't want him to lose to anybody else, he can at least lose to Roman. He don't have to lose to nobody else, but he can leave because it goes back to Hell in the Cell. I said I tweeted. I said they got to protect Braun and Roman somehow, especially Braun, because they
But
booked him into oblivion.
They don't have to. They could just have Roman win. They don't have to protect Braun. Who's the top star in the match? Like he should be like, I'm sick of it. He should be way more like Cena. Cena just beat people and went on to the next monster. They don't have to protect anybody but their top star. I'm completely selfish in that.
We are basically asking for that now. It's like, how come? And have y'all noticed Roman is the Universal Champion, right? And he's probably the only wrestler I've seen right now who don't have a problem sharing the spotlight with anybody as Universal Champion. Ain't that some crazy? Ain't that some? Oh my God, he's so selfless. A selfless king.
Yes. Anybody else? Do you think anybody else would let?
Hell no.
4 other dudes into their championship match?
In their championship reign? No. And make it about them as well? No. Cena wouldn't do it. Stone Cold Steve Austin wouldn't do it. I don't know.
None
if
of
Rock
them
would do it.
Shit, Seth Rollins didn't do it, did he? He had lackeys. He didn't have equals.
He didn't have no.
Dean Ambrose didn't have. He got a little sidekick in James Ellsworth, but he didn't have equals, partners, did he?
No.
It wasn't gang warfare and faction warfare during his reign. They got to stand out, right?
And understand, Shield fans, we ain't, shitting on.
Oh yeah,
I don't give a shit if they think that. I love the Shield. I'm spitting facts about
facts, though.
what they're doing. It's nothing against them. If you think I got something against Dean and Roman, I do. They get treated differently than the person of color in the group. People really do be acting like Roman is not a part of the Shield. Like the Shield is Seth and Dean. And I get sick and tired of that. They're using the Shield. Using what? Roman's group? The group he started? The group he's a fucking part of? What the fuck are you talking about? And you know what's funny?
Because have like when they had that revolving door of Roman, you could tell that the Shield would not be what they were if it weren't for Roman. It's so painfully obvious that Roman, that magical piece that made the Shield what it is.
That's the best thing Triple H ever did, including NXT, was say, instead of Chris Hero, work with me. Let's get this big Jack Samoan with these indie wrestlers. How about that?
You almost made my Trini accent come out because I was about to be like, what? Chris Hero? Keep him.
I was telling people too. I was like, all of them were pushed together. It's just Roman stood out more. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I said, if anything, Seth Rollins, if he ain't fighting for a Universal Championship, he fighting for a championship. He fighting for a championship, so it's not like he's getting buried. And I didn't agree with Dean losing his match on Raw. I didn't think he should have lost.
But Dean don't give a shit. Like if you as a Dean fan, you get frustrated. Just understand, Dean don't give a shit. He is literally living out his dream. His wife is calling his matches now. He almost died with a staph infection. Stop being petty.
Yeah.
Those men love and support each other, and they are having fun and making a lot of money.
And I think he's just happy to be back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just and obviously the shit.
I trust him. I'm just gonna say it right now. I don't trust Dean. Dean looks so sketch right now. He looks like he's just waiting for that moment to punch somebody in the neck.
Storyline.
Yeah. I don't trust him. He looks sketchy. He looks sketchy.
They don't ever need to do that again.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. The worst person.
He can be a heel. He can get traded to SmackDown and be a heel. I do not want to see another Shield breakup. For what? It's stupid. They done fought each other how many times single-handedly, separately? There's nothing left to prove with doing that. Except, swerve for swerve's sake.
Dean and Ron.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I don't know what that was. Go ahead.
Am I the only one who's getting like tech issues tonight?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, Tanya. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know I've been kind of a little bit silent. Everything's been dropping out for me, so I'm like, are they talking or is it just me? I don't know what's going on, but it's fine. It's probably day. It's fine. I do want to know if we're going to talk about, Tanya, are we going to be talking about the pay-per-view? Are we done talking about the pay-per-view? Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I mean, I enjoyed everything. So.
I enjoyed it. I don't really have any major complaints. We talked about Becky. That's like, I just had fun watching this show. I was telling people I was pretty fuckless. Like, and that's not a bad thing. It wasn't anything I was really passionate about. So nothing like really sticks out.
I was enjoying.
New Day needs to break up. Oh, we got a hot take over here by Ashley Powell in the chat. She said New Day needs to break up. Ashley Powell, show yourself, ma'am.
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind either, but I wouldn't mind it either, but until people stop cheering and acting like they don't care, they ain't breaking up. They are not gonna break up.
Well, they need to move on from pancakes because we get it. I swear. Yeah. They need to come up with something else. Like some Kool-Aid, some cheesecake, Apple Jacks, Honey Nut Cheerios.
They can't do cereal no more. They already did the Booty-O's. They got move
bacon.
On something else.
They can get on eggs and bacon. Start promoting green eggs and ham or something.
Let them go cook.
It was like so. It's like I don't. Oh,
I see a hot take. Another hot take. Joe should have done. Of course.
What you said?
What you say? You're dropping out.
Yeah, you dropping out.
Oh. Can you hear this better?
You sound like a transformer.
It's me.
Okay, you're back.
Y'all, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's up. But anyhow, you hearing me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm reading the chat. I just feel like AJ as a champ has really gotten stale. And it's just kind of like if you want a champion to be the champion for a long time, prepare the show that they're a champion for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just have them be a champion and go in the back and come out and be like, and say that I had a championship reign on days. Like CM Punk for under it all when he was champion for 400 and however many days, he was the, you know what I'm saying? Even when Seth got injured, he was champion, and it's just, I can't deal with the napping. Defend the title.
Here's the thing with AJ Styles' championship reign has been boring. 'Cause, like, he was the champion. 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 Now, has Joe made it a little bit interesting? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just feel like, of course, you bring in a family storyline, so why would it not be interesting? But it's like his fans aren't going to say that, but they'll gladly say it about somebody else. But they ain't
Listen,
gonna say it about.
she you said that his reign was getting stale, and I have to agree with Tyler. It's boring. It's been boring.
It's
I
been
mean,
boring.
it has to be fresh in order for it to be stale.
Ooh.
Like the
Ooh.
best thing he's done is those matches with Jinder Mahal. They were actually good. And his match with Brock. And then after that, I
liked his stuff with James Ellsworth and Dean Ambrose.
I hated. Listen, do you understand how badly I hate that James Ellsworth exists? I do not like. He's fine, but I don't know why people find him so entertaining because I just don't get it.
I'm talking about.
Weird.
I'm talking about the AJ. I'm talking about the AJ Styles reign from when he won it in London to now.
It's been boring.
It's been boring. It has, and I don't talk about AJ Styles.
I think I said this before. No, I was gonna say I think I said this before. Where like with AJ, I just feel like there was this point where I feel like Ignition were so on fire. He was just so on fire that he was not to be trifled with. And I just can't remember the last time, with the exception of the mixed match challenge, because honestly, y'all didn't watch Team Day One Globe against Team Phenomenal Flair. That was fun. That was one of the funnest time when it came to like the two of them. Like and I thought AJ was so much fun.
And I feel like he's one of those. I feel like he's one of those guys who can he still be interesting without a title? Roman has shown that he can still be interested without a title. I mean, come on, he hasn't had he went 2 years. He went 2 years and a half without a title. It was still interesting. Can AJ Styles do that? Remains to be seen.
I'm just trying to see him be interesting with the title. Jesus Christ. I'm waiting on that.
I am offended on their behalf.
Like, no, seriously. His stuff with Nakamura was not it.
It was not good.
I don't know. That was just all the low blows.
I can't.
I was over it. I
can't take it. I can't take Samoa Joe seriously. So while his promos are entertaining, they mean nothing to me. Nothing. I would be shocked if he wins. That stuff, and like somebody said, AJ Styles, he has had more screwy championship match finishes than clean match finishes.
That's true.
And this is this is my whole thing. Samoa Joe does not deserve a rematch because the referee did not see the tap out. That means it did not happen. And there was a pin going on at the same time, which the referee did see. This is not football where you can throw a flag and get a technicality. The best thing about all of that was Paige yelling at Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe, I just have to say, his titties was popping. Samoa Joe at the pay-per-view, they were in rare form that night. I was waiting so we could bring Samoa Joe up because I was watching that match and I was like, damn, them titties looking nice. Does he have a wife? Because I
don't hear. He's been be quiet. He hasn't really said it.
He hasn't.
But it's like with the ref, like they have to be consistent with that too, because it happened with Roman. Once the ref made his decision, that was it. So they have to stay on that course with that with the ref. The ref made his decision, so that's it.
And you know what's funny for me was I love just talk about Paige. I think as a GM, I love how she does it, where it's like she's just kind of like, don't think I won't come up out these heels and fight you in this like
Yeah.
I love her because when she said, "And do not interrupt me again," I was like, "Yes, girl,
yes, Paige,
loved it."
And did he interrupt her? He didn't. He stood there and listened. Didn't
he? I loved it, and I think that's just all I like. you know, for me, I'm here. Oh, somebody in the chat said Joe has a son and a wife. Damn.
I can't be a home wrecker, but them titties though.
You're taking me out.
I'm telling you, girl, I was in love that night.
Me, I was looking at Drew's legs. I couldn't get it. I was just not paying attention to that. I'm just like, this man is. I'm usually like super focused on the match and like what's going on, but Drew.
Okay,
good.
Let's have a sidebar, cause how you felt. That's how when I saw Dean Ambrose live last year.
Really,
his ass in them jeans in person, girl. I couldn't.
Yes.
I could not. That ass is unstoppable. I know this may be sexist or whatever, reverse sexist, but that ass is unstoppable. I see Renee. I see why Renee.
Hey,
he is a hunk. I don't care what nobody say. That ass is unstoppable, and I saw that. I couldn't pay attention to the match because that's what I was looking at.
I be admiring every body part of Roman. Just
girl.
In person,
up close.
Unreal.
In person,
up close,
melted. When I tell you backstage, oh my god, oh, that would never leave my head ever. Oh,
and his swag was on 10 at Dallas. Oh, I was here for it.
Oh my god,
girl! I believe his swag don't go down, but to like an 8.5, and that's when he be that's when he be tired of them traveling pictures, and people want to take a picture anyway. He like, all right, I'll throw up the deuces. Hurry up and get out my face.
Exactly.
His swag still be on 8.5.
You say that to people's faces too. He'll be like, all right, that's it. Y'all go. I'm done.
Like, scram, get out. Leave me alone.
But yes, what were we talking about before we decide? See, AJ Styles' title reign so boring. We got to objectify the male wrestler. That's how boring it is.
This is true.
We don't really have nothing to talk about. Like, to sum it up, is what it hasn't been phenomenal. And the house that he built, PC, if Raw was putting on shows where the entire side opposite the hard cam was blacked out, that would be all Ryan Satin and everybody would be putting them pictures up talking about how Roman can't draw. All of them.
They did it to Jinder Mahal when he was champion, but with AJ Styles, you hear crickets.
But when that picture came out, I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was in Detroit or something. I forgot where they were, but the whole side opposite the hard cam there was no fans in the arena. Black the fuck out with AJ Styles. The house that AJ Styles built. Ooh. I wouldn't brag on it. He needs to get a new tagline because that house you need to keep building, bro.
And I'm gonna let everybody know right now, nobody's safe. If Roman needs to be criticized, we'll criticize him too. But we just speaking our opinion. So if you an AJ Styles fan, sorry, but his title reign is boring, which is the double standards when it comes to with wrestlers like him, all because you guys like him. You can still be fans of him and be critical and let it be know what the real deal is.
Because nobody loves Roman like the Roman Empire.
Listen, if Roman don't produce something, if he don't give us content on a weekly basis, something for us to stand about, we will get on his ass. But he always give us a little something. Even if he know it's a down week, he'll fuck with us about shaving his beard or something. Just to keep us interested. Just to hang us on the hook.
And it be the littlest things.
The smallest shit.
The littlest things. Especially in wrestling, like them near falls, I can't.
No, he was kicking out at 2.9.
9.
This one girl at the show, she literally jumped because so I would tell you in Dallas, as a crowd, there was boos in the beginning when Roman came out because it's the thing to do. That's 100% what it felt. It was the thing to do. And a lot of us were combating because we had a lot of Let's Go Roman chants. I don't know if y'all heard it on TV, but we had a lot of Let's Go Roman chants. And, so the crowd was like 70% for Roman, when he would as a group, especially my section, because we were really hit. I was opposite the hard cam side, I believe. So the side that wasn't on camera, I was on that side. So we were watching, and like we were all just kind of like, okay, Roman's gonna lose his belt. Baron Corbin booked himself a match. So like as a crowd, like, we were like, okay, he's gonna lose his belt. So everybody's just like, when he was kicking out so late, we were going crazy because we're just thinking everyone had the general mentality that he was gonna lose his belt, you know. And oh, you know what? I'm gonna give my MVP of the week to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is so fun to hate.
Yeah, he is.
He's so smarmy and annoying, and like I wasn't into it for a while, but just seeing him and how just sleazy he is, I just was like, oh, I just want you to get beat up. And like when he kept rolling out of the ring at the end of that match,
that was annoying.
Oh, I was frustrated. I was like, I hate him. I want to see Roman dive in person. I was so sad I missed it.
Man, oh my God. I wish they would have let him hit the dive on Braun Strowman. You imagine the crowd would have went crazy if he jumped over the top rope on Braun Strowman.
And also,
when he was getting ready to do it, the crowd was like, oh, snap, he finna jump over the top rope.
And I'll tell you two fun things. The first being that the very first time Roman bust out that dive, I had turned my back. And I didn't know it was coming, and I was doing something, and I had turned my back, and I missed Roman diving over that top rope in Newark the first time he did it, and I was pissed. But the other thing, speaking of flips, also MVP, Leo Rush.
Yes, we gotta mention.
Oh yeah.
We have to
mention.
him.
That was a dope segment. I love that segment.
Like him and Bobby Lashley together, like Lord, right there. Let's do this. Lord, it just makes so much sense when you see it.
It does.
When
it's naturally.
When we were watching, so I'm sitting next to this like group of teenagers or whatever, and you know I went by myself, so I was pretty like either tweeting or just like watching a show or tweeting during commercials, which that's so annoying to sit there during commercials. I wanted to fast forward and I couldn't. But we were watching. So when we see Kevin Owens come out, we see him leap over Kevin Owens. It's like, oh, okay, cool. When he leaps over Elias, everyone's like, oh. When he does that backflip, a lot of people stood up and was like, wait, who is this guy? And even for me, I've heard of Leo Rush. The only things I know about him is that he's supposedly some prodigy, and that he tweeted about Emma, and everyone got really upset about that for some reason.
That wasn't a good start for him. He shouldn't have.
Because she was still friends, and he was joking about her losing. It was just not tactful. But he didn't, everybody didn't have to jump down his throat like that.
Yeah, it was kind of like wasn't the right time for him to do that.
Yeah, like basically. A faux pas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, but I just also thought like it's very similar to like the Peyton Royce thing where like there's this crowd. I feel like that the WWE family with quotations picks and chooses when they want to all band together, because I've seen Nia Jax talk about being bullied. Naomi was retweeting when people were being racist to her, and nobody had anything to say. And Melt's man says Satan needs some different titties. Everybody's upset.
But look at the two women they rallied around. They were what?
We knew.
They were what race again? That's what there were people that were saying Alexa. That time Alexa was getting bullied, and I put out a tweet. It did very good numbers that said, "Where was all this concern when people are calling Naomi and Sasha racial slurs? Where was all this unity amongst wrestling Twitter to stop bullying female wrestlers? Because somebody made fun of Alexa's tattoo."
Who gets a tattoo? Except the only other person who did that was Roman. But he went
out there and took bumps, and he got a big Samoan sleeve on his arm.
And she got a tiny
she got two little tiny tattoos and couldn't bump and still won the championship. The fuck?
Like, that's why I was okay. So Ronda took her down, and I was happy about that.
That should have been the main event, in my opinion.
I like Ronda in person. She's got that energy, and she's also small as hell. Listen, Sasha Banks is tiny. Alexa Bliss is tiny. I mean, we knew she was tiny, but she's tiny. Alicia Fox, is thin. That girl, I mean, wow. I just had to stand for these girls for a little bit and just say I'm shocked at how small they were. Also, can we talk about?
Oh my God! I just saw Kobe on TV.
Huh?
I saw Kobe on TV.
Kobe.
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 My mutual Kobe. Here she is with the. She's on Total Divas. I gotta tell her.
Oh, she is.
Yes. At WrestleMania.
Oh, congratulations.
34.
Okay.
She's
Is it
right there.
Kobe, not Lopez?
Yes.
I've seen her before. Okay, cool.
She is on TV.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Total Divas is on. I need to watch that. But yeah, I think I had to just stand. I was really shocked by how small a lot of these girls were because they're like, oof. Those girls are definitely tiny to be doing all that stuff. And Nia Jax, can we talk about how Dallas was lit for Nia Jax?
Yeah, she ain't been on TV. I'm sad for Nia because it's like you could really do something with her. You can.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you not? It's and I be trying not to come across like I know everything because I don't. But it's like it's obvious that it's like there's certain wrestlers that are so easy to book for and be creative with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes it can be frustrating when it comes to somebody like a Nia Jax or another male wrestler that like it's so easy to
Cesaro's one of them.
Yeah, Cesaro, Sheamus, like it's like you know, it's like it's so easy to be creative with those guys and with Nia, but it's like I don't know what's going on for them to not be able to do that.
And they have so much TV time. It seems like you can spread that shit out a little bit more. Like, understand
recaps, yes.
We all have complaints. The thing about it is most of the time, as far as pushes go, you can't blame anybody but the person giving the push. Now, if you don't think somebody's entertaining, that's on you. Because there are a lot of people that stand certain wrestlers, and I'm like, I don't see it, but I'm going to let you rock.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
like
not
going to because I like him.
I'm gonna let all of y'all rock. Carmella, she alright, but y'all that's standing her, I'm gonna let y'all rock. I don't get it.
You know what? And I will say this: when Carmella won the first Women's Money in the Bank, they were dead wrong for making James get the briefcase instead of her.
Yeah.
Girl.
But that night after, when she said, this is all the thing, like when she said all the stuff, she's like, the women's evolution and revolution. And she goes, who cares? And the crowd loses their mind at her because they're pissed for her. I loved it. And then I hated that they redid the match because I think that there was so much to go from there with her being irreverent to the revolution.
That's what pissed me off the most. If you had the balls to do it, go with it. Stand by your there are some scenes that I've written in some of my writing, but my sister, who knows me very well, told me I went too far. But I did not change those scenes because if you're going to do something, you do it. And you let that shit play out. They could have done something with that. And instead, they got scared and redid the match. And I'm so glad this year they actually because the first one was a letdown. Nobody really did nothing in that first Women's Money in the Bank match. But this year, they actually put in shit. Lana was doing
Lana
shit in the match.
Alexa Bliss, and let that sink in. She
everybody in that match outworked Alexa Bliss. That was, and it ain't even on Alexa. That's on the people who let her do that. That's who I was mad at. I really don't have. I think Alexa Bliss is a star. I think if I had Alexa Bliss in my company, hell yeah, I would push her. Maybe not as much. But the thing is, they don't mind her giving women flip-flop the titles back and forth. They don't mind a woman having a short-ass title reign, as long as they say she a 5-time champion.
You see, I will say this, because I was listening to podcasts at work because I was bored. And so I happened to go back to listen to Sam Roberts' podcast, and So I was listening to the Samoa Joe one, which was very funny, and I highly recommend it. It was really funny. But then I listened to the Alexa Bliss one, and listening to her talk, I was like, okay, I see why they like having her in the media, because she's very articulate, she's very personable, and she comes across very well, right? Like you get a good grasp of her personality, and I have to give her that. She has a personality. I think with the way that they treat sometimes, like the way they treat some of these girls, it's almost like even if you have a personality, I still feel like that machine just isn't there for you, because I look at Naomi's title reign in comparison to Charlotte's title reign.
I'm still, oh my God, the way
they see who they like and who they don't. It's so apparent and it's frustrating.
It's like Naomi with that glow title, with her gimmick, like she could have been the top face on SmackDown in the women's division. She could wrestle, got a personality, athletic. Like, it's just a shame, and it's like, oh my God, and I know she embraced. What kills me is she was embracing being in catering and all that stuff, which is cool. But at the same time, it was like, that's messed up, man.
Like, I'm trying all the cookies. Like, she did. But think about it is, and that's the thing where it's like sometimes I don't get, like, I can understand why certain people get favoritism over others, or why certain people are in a position that they are, because I always think back to when John Cena said, he doesn't. I remember John Cena saying something to the effect of, like, if he had as much political pull as everyone thinks he did, he basically was like, you think I would have gone to WrestleMania? Like, when he wanted to face the Undertaker at WrestleMania, he didn't get the match. And then the year after he got it, it was a squash match.
Yeah.
Like, if I had as much power, do you think I would have gone through that way? And I found it very interesting. And so he said stuff to the effect of, like, people need to step up, because at the end of the day, they don't step up. And so for me, it's very hard to differentiate, because I hear what he's saying and I'm like, yes, people need to step up. But then I look at when people do step up, how they get treated, how they get sat back down. And it's like, what do you really want?
Yeah.
Yeah. What John's speaking from a white male privileged position. Yeah. Because some of these people, there's literally nothing. Naomi had to fight for that gimmick. They kept giving her bullshit that wasn't clicking because they thought they knew how to market her. Then they finally listened to her idea, which is, I don't think it's they. Road Dogg get a lot of shit, but it seemed like Paige being written the way she should be written on Road Dogg show. Naomi finally got a chance with her gimmick on Road Dogg show, and she got over enough to become a champion. Now, what they had her do with it, Road Dogg does not decide who gets a push. Yeah. They go to him, they say, we want these two people to feud, come up with something. Now, you may not like his ideas, but he is not choosing who wins these belts. He is not choosing who faces who in title matches. Exactly. So you can save all of that ire for the person that's actually pushing them, not the person that's writing the story.
And again, like I said, if they make money, they are going to continue to be in these positions and get these opportunities. It is what it is.
Yep.
It is what it is. And that's all that Vince is listening to. You think he going to listen to the We Want Talent hashtag on Twitter? No, he's not. So he hasn't listened to the Roman haters yet, because again, he brings in money. When you heard what Paul Heyman said about how he basically saying how when Brock Lesnar was he basically saying, claiming that Roman being champion and causing the stock price to rise was fake news, when we all know when he's champion, the stock prices surprisingly went up. And I was like, oh, they bitching that on Raw. But it said he's saying Brock Lesnar is the one that did that. I was like, interesting.
Okay, you touched on Danny, you touched on your MVPs of the week because it's almost 10 o'clock. So we got to kind of wrap this up. We're going to talk about.
So wrap it up then, Migo.
We're going to talk about our MVPs and our fuckamoos of the week. This week, I'm going to be nice. I don't really have any fuckamoos, not even these We Want Talent hashtags. I'm going to be nice. I would say my MVP for the week, I absolutely enjoyed Becky 100%. Keep this same energy, sweetie. You're doing amazing. So, Tyler, who are your MVP and who is your fuckamoo of the week?
Well, I already gave my fuckamoo. It was Dave Meltzer. And if you didn't listen to the podcast in the beginning, you'll know why. My MVP, I'm kind of torn between the Leo Rush segment and the main event because it's like I enjoyed the main event on Raw a lot. Like Raw was really good, but I'll give it to Leo Rush and Bob and Milk Dud. I thought it was a good segment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So Danny, you said you shared it. You said
yes, I shared it between Leo and with Baron Corbin. I'm trying to think if I have a fuckamoo because I feel like I just want to have one. Who do I think deserves to be told about themselves today? I'm just looking on Twitter right quick. So right now I don't see anybody that's getting a fuckamoo this week for me. You know what? You know who does get it? We're gonna give it to the Glam Squad, WWE. They've gotten it before. This isn't even their first time. So the fact that they have to get it again makes them a double fuckamoo. Because why do y'all let Ronda look like she got a 2-piece to her face every time? Why she look like she got out of her fight with Amanda Nunes for every match? Why? Why? I need to know. That girl looks. And then I also want to, whoever makes her gear needs to I need to have a conversation with them because the minute she starts to move, her butt, she has no butt. So for her butt cheeks to fall out, it's a lot of work. I'm sure it does not make well. And then her top is like, she's always she spends most of the match adjusting her clothes because it's like not fitting properly. And so I just want her Glam Squad, all the people who are involved in the look of who she is are fucking moves because they are not doing her justice.
I definitely, that's very, very worthy. She does seem a bit awkward in that department.
It looks raggedy. I want sound effects so I can do gunshots, raggedy, pow pow.
Okay, is there anything else we didn't touch on that you want to speak on?
I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. This has been Suplexes and Shea Butter. Also, please check out my friends, 2 Guys in One Podcast, and my guy Sal Kuzmano. They also have podcasts on YouTube. I can't remember them right now. I'm sleepy. I'll plug them next week.
It was 1 Guy, 1 Sport or something.
2 Guys and 1 Sport. But I forgot the name of Sal's, and I forgot to look it up. I'm sorry. It's I'm a mom, sue me. But thanks guys for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye. Well, not next week, next live event. I'm gonna post it on my Twitter. Bye bye.